Baby, why don't you let me in? Oh, baby.
Welcome, everyone, to the Barely Friends podcast. My name's Isaiah,
My name's Eric.
and we're excited to be here. If you are new with us, welcome. Two friends, one podcast, talk about usually the NBA, Celtics, other sports. It's usually our go-to. Sometimes pop culture. We're going to get into some WWE later in the show. You don't want to miss that. So let's get right into it. But, Eric, did you want to share your bowling experience, or did you want to share that later? Because I know you mentioned that you had a good time.
Oh yeah, I think I'll address the rumors now.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So I went with my brother and my girlfriend and his friends bowling yesterday. Actually,
Nice.
went to local business, the Wonder Bowl.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And Ryan's friends are pretty good. Give him some props. Ryan's also very good too.
There we go. Give him some
Yep.
props. Give him some props.
Yep.
There we go.
But I will say, Monday night was my night.
Okay.
I bowled personal best 140.
Whoa.
Yep.
All right. Let's give him another applause.
Thank you,
There we go.
So I think in NBA terms, that's kind of like a 30-point game.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was balling.
Yeah.
And I was also on ESPN Radio on Friday.
Yes.
Second biggest news I have. But yeah, that was also a fun radio experience, and I enjoyed that. So if you want to see it, it's on YouTube, ESPN South Louisiana, Eric J. Santos. And yeah.
Awesome, man. That's good stuff. I guess I'll share real quick. I wasn't planning to do this, but since you mentioned your bowling, I was at Top Golf the other day. Not a local business, but it is a business nonetheless. And I did pretty well. I hit the golf ball not necessarily straight, but where I wanted it to go. Usually it goes this way, or sometimes it'll go this way, but usually where it was going. And I won a lot of the mini games. This was me and some of my friends, so that was fun. So also, I don't know, personal best. I don't know, but it was good. A lot of dubs. So that's always good.
Any quick thoughts about the new golf league? I don't know the name of it, but
oh yeah, Tiger Woods' golf league. I've seen some highlights. It's very interesting. I mean, their golf course, like their virtual golf course, is state of the art, and they have a legit like actual putting green. That's like the actual course. So I don't know how it all works. I don't know how they literally fit an actual putting green in there, but it looks really cool. So it's very interesting. I take a look here and there. Yeah. All right, let's get into the NBA. All right, we got a lot of NBA stuff to cover today. We're gonna start off with some breaking news, and we're gonna start off with some 3 devastating injuries that have happened in the last 2 weeks since we had our episode. This would involve Victor Wembanyama, Joel Embiid, and Kyrie Irving. Okay, they're all done for the season. Okay, they're all unfortunately out with injuries. Wembanyama has a blood clot, I think on one of his shoulders. I think his right shoulder. Joel Embiid is out with a knee injury, and Kyrie Irving is out with a torn ACL. I feel like each of these injuries, Eric, kind of tell a different story. Wembanyama, basically, I love him. So seeing him go down for the year, I want him to get back next year, recover, whatever he needs to do. He's face of the league potential, So that's Wemby. Kyrie, the whole trade, Luka and AD. And now, no Kyrie. AD is limited. This trade looks very one-sided, very early. It wasn't supposed to be this early, but it looks one-sided this early. And then Joel Embiid, same old at this point. You never know with injuries how significant they are, and you don't want to ever judge any injuries. But with Embiid, with him not playing for half the season, we're not playing for half of his entire career, it's really hard to kind of gauge what this injury looks like. So, Eric, your thoughts on these 3 injuries?
I agree with you that each one tells its own different story. Like you said, the young Wembanyama, the former MVP Joel Embiid, and now we have Kyrie Irving, unfortunately, we got that season-ending injury. Now I'm gonna say for the Mavericks, especially looking at these Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic trade, you've got to give an F- rating right now because you traded your best player, who may be in the MVP race, for Anthony Davis, who immediately got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got Kyrie Irving, who I know he tried his best on the floor and he still had a heroic performance. but now he's done for the season, and now your team's got what? Daniel Gafford? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm a Mavs fan, I'm livid. I'm upset. I think they just gotta like wipe the entire team clean. Unfortunately, you're done for the season.
Yeah. I mean, and for, the long term, I guess, too, they're old. I mean, old-ish, they're still playing very well, Kyrie, AD, and Klay Thompson. But you only have a few years with these guys, and then you really do have to blow it up. And if injuries continue with AD, if whatever happens with Kyrie's ACL, like if that's going to be significant down the line, this is really bad for them as a whole. So, that GM for the Mavs, I don't know. I don't know how he can live with himself right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I know a lot of people give him the benefit of the doubt. I know a lot of analysts would be like, "Oh, okay, Anthony Davis, he's got a good big man presence," which is true. But they knew heading into this trade that he's been injury prone for a while.
Right.
So
Right.
like I could have told you this, and I did, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like I thought the Lakers won this trade.
Yeah.
But no, I just think the Mavericks need to be better in the future. They need to, probably fire their GM, honestly. And if the Mavericks fans are telling you the same exact thing, and they're the ones who like are really the lifeline of the team,
Mhm.
you gotta trust them too.
Yeah.
And I think it's a shame that they have to deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, there were protests. They had, a ton of Mavs fans outside their stadium, trying to calling Adam Silver to Adam Silver to Adam Silver. And Adam Silver was like, "We'll see what happens." Well, I think we've seen now. I think it's kind of over at this point. Very unfortunate. On to the next breaking news. Andre Iguodala, who was formerly on the Golden State Warriors, had his jersey retired, number 9 jersey. He won NBA Finals MVP. He won 4 championships. I didn't know he won that many chips. And was a 2-time All Defensive NBA player, all team selection. Yeah, I think he's a great player. And I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame. Was it appropriate to retire his jersey?
I'm gonna say he won the MVP with the Warriors, like during the NBA Final Series.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, if you're the best player in your team for 7 games, that's awesome. But I don't think you deserve to have like a whole retirement over it.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Stephen Curry, best player of the team for at least 100 plus games, amazing season. They had like a historic best season. But Iguodala being the best player in that series is awesome. It's a great accomplishment, but I don't think it's worthy of a retirement.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Last episode we talked about like NBA teams. We talked about that jersey flop with University of Illinois. So, I was even hesitating, but I was like, my initial response was, oh yeah, Iguodala deserves to have it retired, his number in Golden State. But maybe it's more so a Hall of Famer and less about his jersey retired, because a ton of Hall of Famers. Actually, I don't know. Like the correlation between Hall of Famers and their jerseys being retired and their teams. I don't know if it's more so or not, but I think for Iguodala, in my perspective, I would say that he deserves Hall of Fame more so than his own retirement. And I guess it's quick too, right? Again, it was very like he just retired, period, and they just hung up his jersey. So I don't know. Maybe they're trying to wipe away the season and trying to hide it all with this retirement. I don't know.
Yeah.
Justin Santos, what do you say? We always, we love you, man. We really do. But we get you out of here now.
I do agree. The other 4 Warriors, like Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and even Kevin Durant, retired their jerseys.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next on this list, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, man, it has not been his season. He faces a lawsuit of unpaid rent. Sounds like a college student, right? And property damage. This was a house in Miami, and $260,000 in rent. No big deal, and $127,000 in damages. So for him, it's that probably isn't legitimately a big deal. But now, I mean, it's a little bit of a distraction. Like it was on the top NBA headlines on the ESPN Sports app. So obviously, like everyone knows about it on Golden State. Like it's he's carrying, whether it's on the court or off the court, these distractions and that's not going to help this Golden State Warrior team that desperately needs, honestly, a number 2, at least scoring wise. And this doesn't really help.
Yeah, I mean, if Jimmy Butler owed you rent, like he was renting your house, like what would you do?
Yeah, I would ask for as much as I could legally, or as more than what he is supposed to pay. I would ask for more, because he has more. So, but yeah, is no good. I don't know. I mean, there's no excuse, right? Like
Yeah.
he has the money, so
Yeah, I mean, even having your apartment trashed, I feel like he could just at least hire a cleaning service to come and take care of that. But I don't see any reason why he would leave that in such bad condition if it's true.
yeah, I wonder what these property damages actually look like. Like what were you doing, Jimmy, in Miami? I know it's a fun place to live and be a human there, but I don't. Yeah, odd, and should have paid those rents, Jimmy. Come on now, come on, you're better than that, or are you? I don't know. Are you? Okay. Next up, football stuff for breaking news. Deebo Samuel, who was formerly on the San Francisco 49ers, is now on the Washington Commanders. And if you don't know, the Commanders were really good, surprisingly good last year. Jaden Daniels, Jaden Daniels, Jaden Dan, yeah, no, Jaden Daniels, yeah. It's like psyching myself out. Jaden Daniels was phenomenal. He led them to the NFC Championship, losing to the Eagles, who won the whole thing. So adding Deebo Samuel, who is versatile, he's mainly a wide receiver, but they can use him as a running back. I think that makes them more of a threat, and I don't think it puts them on the Eagles level yet, but they are going to be right back at it. What the team they have, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was definitely rooting for the Commanders to make the Super Bowl. I would have been really happy to see Chiefs and Commanders and have this like underdog story.
Yeah.
Like you said, I know the Eagles defeat them by like 30 something points. So it'll definitely help having Samuel. He just needs to I don't know. Just see how they match up.
Yeah, and I think they need a little more help on the defensive end as well. I think they were kind of slacking. If you were to say offense or defense, I would say defense needs more help. So they need to reinforce that area. But in any case, it's going to be fun now, even more fun now to watch their offense with Daniels, with Terry McLaurin, their top wide receiver, and now Deebo Samuel. So it's going to be good to watch, and we'll see what happens with that team and with the NFC moving forward. And finally, breaking news. More football. Matthew Stafford has decided to stay with the Los Angeles Rams, which means there are other QB vacancies with other teams. New York Giants, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers still have, I believe, Russell Wilson on their team and Justin Fields. They tried to experiment with that last year. The Raiders are looking for a quarterback. And the Giants absolutely have a quarterback. I saw a post that they don't have a quarterback under contract on their roster. Period. Like I don't know if that necessarily means they don't have a quarterback on their team, but like I guess under a long-term deal they don't have one. Okay, so they need one. Now Aaron Rodgers, he's looking for a place, okay, to stay, a new home. But a lot of people don't want him. A friend, shout out to Danielle, a friend of mine, she sent a meme about the Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had like a billboard and it said, "We don't want Aaron Rodgers. No, thank you," essentially. So that means the New York Giants, right? Aaron Rodgers, New York Giants.
It just sounds like a mutually awful combination.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Like I said earlier before, it sounds like a train wreck ready to happen.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because the Jets literally gave Aaron Rodgers everything he wanted, and they still couldn't pull out a winning record. So the Giants, especially having their history of being this team plagued with different misfortunes, I feel like Aaron Rodgers just fits that vibe right now, and just I don't see anything good coming out of it.
Yeah, going to New York media it'd be the same people, I'm pretty sure, who trashed you and who talked all this crap about you. That won't be fun, and they're not winning. They're not one quarterback away. They're one quarterback and a lot of other pieces away from winning. Unlike the Steelers are honestly one quarterback away, but I don't think that would fit. Vegas is probably not one quarterback away either, but I think their roster is a little more intriguing. and they have a better coach, Pete Carroll, coming from Seattle than Dayball in the Giants. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who wants Aaron Rodgers at this point.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I mean, I don't really know too much about Sam Darnold. I know that the playoff game, of course, he lost it and he looked awful.
Yeah,
Yeah. But if I were to put Aaron Rodgers in his position, I don't know how well he would do with the Vikings.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, would you rather have Sam Darnold based on last year, or Aaron Rodgers based on last year?
That's what I'm saying, because Sam Darnold, I think he used to play for the Jets.
Right.
And when he played for the Jets, people were saying, like, oh, this
He was
guy's not performing.
Garbage. Right.
Yep.
Right.
And then he put Aaron Rodgers in that role. Maybe something changes. But I just think Vikings right now would be a nice destination if I was Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, and then that's a good point. You bring up interesting fact that, or I don't know, fact, but Brett Favre had that same path. He was Packers, then went to the Jets for like a year, and then went to the Vikings. So that's kind of what I'm rooting for, like kind of that whole same vibe and that same path. That would be kind of cool. They also have a rookie, JJ McCarthy, for the Vikings, and he had a torn ACL last year, so he didn't play. So that whole thing, but I mean, he still needs to learn. Like he didn't play at all because he was working injury. So I don't know. Maybe
I'm just curious. You know how Brett Favre ended his career?
Well, I remember one NFC Championship game against the Saints. He threw an awful pick to end their chances for going to the Super Bowl. I don't know if that was his last year, but I mean, I don't think it was great. Okay. I just can't remember specifically.
But like you mentioned, like their careers are basically like lining up just like.
Oh yeah, the same path. Yep, it would be dope. I think it'd be really cool to see him on the Vikings. They have a roster to win it. If he were to go there, they have a roster. Again, do they want him? I don't know. So that is our breaking news segment. A little bit of basketball, a little bit of football there. This is our basketball segment. Okay, this is our ball is life, and we got a lot of things to go to. First, we talk about Celtics because we are a Celtics podcast. And boy, there was one game that got off my nerves. I'm sure other Celtics fans' nerves. It was against the Cleveland Cavaliers, really the only other rival in the Eastern Conference right now. We were up. You know what? No, you know what? I'm going to put on my camera. I don't think this is going to go well because I'll show you why. Okay. I'm going to put on my camera here for a second. So it moves wherever. We don't know how this happened. We were just kind of experimenting, or not experimenting. We were just like setting up everything, and then I was just moving around, and then I put my camera on, and then I'm moving. You see, as I move back, it moves forward, or I move forward. So anyway, distraction a little bit. So that's why I'm not gonna have this camera on me for a long time. But the Celtics lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were up 25-3, Eric. 25-3 in the first quarter. You're thinking it's a wrap. Well, the Cavs came back, huge comeback. They win 123-116. Tatum, after the 25-3 lead, he said, and I quote here, kind of quote because he swears here. He says, actually here, he says, "Get the out of here," right at the fans, and well, they said, he had his beat. Okay, so so there's that. Yeah, I don't know, Eric. I don't know. I feel like I'm always like, it's a roster, and then they have these losses, or they look so poor. I think they're a little vulnerable right now. What say you?
Yeah. I would say definitely from the Eastern Conference, the Cavaliers are their best competition. Knicks, I'm not worried about. Pacers, I'm not worried about. Bucks, I'm not worried about. Sixers, especially not worried about. But yeah, Cavaliers just have our number right now. And I don't necessarily who you place the blame on. I would say maybe the players for letting this hole get so deep. I know Jason Tatum wanted to show that sign of confidence, and I agree that he should be showing that confidence on the court. But I just feel like they've got to make sure they don't let up. And they did let up in that game. So
Yeah. And it's so hard to pinpoint what is going on. I don't know. It's obviously it's not a skill thing. This team is loaded. They're arguably the best team if you just look at their roster, who they have. Preparation, which falls on everyone, but also falls on Joe, who I feel like I've been kind of nice to in the season. I don't know. Maybe I should be getting on him more because last year, we maybe he was listening. Um, I don't know. It's really tough to pinpoint one thing with this team because it seems like it's maybe a bunch of different things, or it could be a bunch of different reasons. But yeah, it's as a fan, it's hard to see this kind of loss happen this way. And you know what? This is what it reminds me of. Bring it back to football for a second. It reminds me of the Kansas City Chiefs this year and last year, where you would look at their regular season and you would say, how the heck is this team going to win? They don't look like the championship team that they won in previous years. Last year, they won it. This year, they got to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it. But yet, they're dominant, but they don't look dominant. That's the best analogy I can have. Like, the regular season, they're just kind of like they're loose. They're not really taking it too seriously. And then playoff time comes, they're just going to wreck the league. I hope so.
Yeah, I still don't see the Cavaliers beating us, 7-game series if it comes to that.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, of course, we have Tatum, Brown, all those guys. Yeah, I mean, we won last year. I know that it just feels like the entire community outside of Boston is against Boston. Like, it feels like we're really, like, fighting the world with this championship run.
Yeah.
And people are saying, like, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can't work together. Joe Mazzulla's too young of a coach, and all the other different narratives about Boston. They lose to Mavericks. Injuries are the reason why they're winning. I just think that they blew this game. It counts as one loss, which is great, but they're 8-2 besides that. So
Yeah.
I'm confident they can still, be dominant in this, stretch to the playoffs and heading to playoffs. I have no concerns for them, but it's just at this moment in time, being in the middle part of the season, they are playing too loose, like you said.
Yeah, I have definitely absolutely 100% not lost hope. Not lost hope in this team. They're gonna be fine. It's just so hard seeing this kind of loss, like I said, this kind of loss, or any other loss, or yeah, things that happen with this team this year. It's hard to pinpoint, but they're still second in the East. They're still one of the best teams in the league. So
Yeah, there's a quote my dad has. I don't know if I'm going to say it right.
mm,
Half the battle of life is showing up.
mm,
So what that means is, right, Kyrie Irving's out, Joel Embiid's out, Victor Wembanyama's out. Tatum and Brown have been very consistent. They've missed very little games for the last season and this season. So I think if as long as they continue to show up and play as they have been playing,
mhm.
that's very valuable to the team. Because injuries are a big part of basketball, although it's unfortunate they happen. It is a strategy of who's going to be injured on what days and managing those different challenges that come up.
Yes.
And Tatum's been very reliant of being non-injury plagued and being very reliable.
Yes. So let's not let that happen. Okay. Let's not be on this breaking news list on the first thing. Okay. Season ending. Let's healthy has been the best thing probably with this team so far. So let's stay that way. All right, guys, stay healthy, please. All right. Next subject matter for our NBA segment. Anyone else tired of these NBA players? specifically, all-stars. Okay. Let me give you an example. Your GOAT, my inching towards it, but maybe inching backwards now in recent this last month or so. Okay. LeBron was talking about Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, he's one of the best players right now, one of the best young talents in the league. He plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards was asked about whether he wanted to be the face of the league or not. And he essentially said, no, I don't know if it was necessarily because of too much pressure or, whatever the reason, but he essentially said no. It's like, all right, that's his opinion. He doesn't want to be, fine. I mean, I feel like the face of the league comes, whether you like it or not, if if you're talented, super talented. So that's a whole nother debate. But then LeBron comes on, he gets asked, about Anthony Edwards, about his answer. And he says here, I feel Anthony Edwards. I understand. I completely understand. There's just weird energy when it comes to that. And so I, watched the First Take, ESPN First Take, Stephen A. Smith on that, on his quote. And maybe I'm just leaning towards Stephen A. and kind of the majority here. But I don't really like that answer. Being the face of the league for so long, maybe still being the face of the league. giving that answer because of weird energy. What do you make of the weird energy? What is that? What do you think that could be?
Yeah. I know LeBron James, you mentioned too, he's my GOAT. You know that for years now. But he definitely, in my opinion, has been the unanimous face of the league for 20 plus years. And you look at jersey sales, and I think to this day it's LeBron James, Steph Curry, and maybe intertwined some years.
Yeah.
But it's LeBron James, Steph Curry. LeBron is, when you think of pop culture in the NBA, he is the face. Like, he's in movies, he goes to the award shows, he does talk shows throughout his career.
Yeah.
So to be the face of the league, that's what I see. I see him doing all these media appearances and really putting basketball in this pop culture light. Same thing with Steph Curry, as media appearances, movies, same kind of deal. Especially being out in California, they both have great exposure. Someone like Nikola Jokic, I think he could be the face of the league if he wanted to. But that's not something he has aspirations to be. He wants to be the guy who comes into work, clocks out, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think that LeBron James faces different pressures every day socially, just from being hated by fans, being loved by fans. Like, he has a lot of pressure of just being the guy all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's what me referring to.
Yeah, I totally agree that if you're the face of the league, you're not just getting attention from your media, your fan base. You're getting national attention, and he's been through several decades, LeBron. When he was younger and getting, I was going to say college, high school media attention from the Cavs to the Heat, that whole big three, to coming back to the Cavs and now on the Lakers. So he's experienced it all, and I understand that there's so much load that's going to come with that. I guess too, I have to appreciate that he's honest. Okay, I do have to appreciate that he's honest and that he is sharing a little bit of what he's gone through. But I wish, I don't know if that he would. I don't know. Maybe this is probably just me, and this is probably just a bad take. But he would maybe just more appreciative of like what that role of like the NBA, the face would look like. Like, yes, all that weight, but like what you could do for the game if you are the face of the league. So I guess like I think that answer is fine, but I think additionally adding on like, but this is what you could do if you were the face of the league. Like, there's all those pressures, but look at what I've done. Essentially, that's I think feel like it was missing. I would say kind of. If LeBron added that, I would be okay.
Yeah, I will say one thing about LeBron James, and a lot of people agree with it also, but he's really had no major controversies in his career. Like, a lot of NBA players, we have their business being dished out, through the media.
Right.
And to be the face of NBA and have absolutely zero scandals about you, meaning like, I'm not going to air out anything on the air, but not Anthony Davis, but Anthony Edwards himself, he's going through like a little bit of drama with his baby mama.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
But stuff like that, like John Morant, Zion Williamson, they've all, in their young careers, they've had some kind of scandal come out about them.
Yep.
And LeBron James has been he's been very good in the way he carries himself. And something that I admire about him. And I think to be the face of the league and be able to carry himself the way he does have pressure behind it. So
absolutely. He has done a great job overall, being in the face of the league and doing what is right. And I'm not trying to diminish anything he's done. Just I wish he added that. Just I wish he added that. But another NBA player that we've talked about several times in this season 2 of Barely Friends, Draymond Green. Okay. Last episode we talked about his comment about the All-Star game, how should we switch, and how it's, and I was like, oh yeah, props. This is what I'm not giving props. Okay, I'm not giving props to Draymond here. He said that the 2015 to 2019 era of the NBA was the best era. What could I? Yeah, you know what? This one. Thoughts.
My question is, who was champion during those 4 years?
Yeah, like that's it. If he wanted to say that this era had one of the best dynasty eras of all time, sure, he can make an argument. Fine. Even though I wouldn't say that would be accurate either, because you had Kevin Durant in a good amount of the time.
I don't think that they didn't even three-peat.
Right, and I don't think they three-peat either. So, again, I watched ESPN First Take. So there was all these eras. Michael Jordan era, eh, Magic Bird, or Magic and Larry Bird. You can even argue about like, because we weren't alive during those eras. Obviously, we're young. But the Lakers Celtics era, when it was Kobe, Paul Gasol, and KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, like that little like rivalry there, bringing back the Lakers Celtics rivalry, that could be arguably better than the era that he's saying. So it was a nice little, Warriors Cavaliers rivalry, and it was nice that the awesome point was because if the Warriors had beat the Cavs the whole time and the Cavs didn't win that last game, I would be like, like that era was like, you guys dominated great, like you had one of the best teams, great. Like it wasn't like there was nothing else. There was nothing else. So I don't know why. I don't know.
I guess if you picked like any 3-year stint, and I guess it is a bit biased because of how we grew up, but what like 3-year stretch or like 4 or 5 year stretch would you say is the best in the NBA?
Ooh, so it doesn't matter if we were like alive for it or not.
Yeah,
just like in general. I think I'm going off there here because I don't have really numbers or research to back this up. I think it's either any, you can pick and choose whichever 3-year period you want to choose with MJ, like when he was winning those championships, or when the bad boy Pistons came to town, and kind of took over Eastern Conference for a bit, because I think MJ was still on the Bulls on that time when the kind of the bad boy Pistons were a thing. AI wasn't. Isaiah Thomas, IT, right? So I may have messed those eras up, but anyway, I think bad boy Pistons or 3-year, whichever one of MJ's 6 rings, that would be for me. What about for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go slightly earlier than that.
Okay.
Yeah. Bird and Johnson, the rivalry with the Lakers and Celtics, the 80s.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed to see that happen live. It'd been really cool. But I know I feel like there's a lot of nostalgia in the game getting like its very first like renaissance of popularity and getting the face of pop culture and that kind of influence.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there's a lot of good action that really elevated the game up.
For sure. And maybe Draymond is just having some recency syndrome where he's looking at the game now and he's like, man, oh man, back in the dynasty era, my dad, when we were getting, man, that was so good. Like we were winning all the time, and we beat LeBron several times. Oh, it was so good. Like now it's awful. The NBA sucks. So maybe he's like a little bit trying to reminisce on the past because he can't think about what's happening right now. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Warriors, I think they're 6 or 7 now. So
Yeah.
right in the pack. But yeah, he's living the good old days.
Yeah, he's trying to go taste. He's just reminisce of the past. Hey, it was a good pass, very good pass. I would try to reminisce all the time if I had that kind of pass. So, all right, next up in the NBA, Luka and the Lakers. Man, they have been. We talk about one side of the Mavs Lakers trade. We're gonna talk about the other side with Luka and LeBron. They have been killing it. They've had a 5-game, probably maybe 6 game. They might have won an additional game, winning streak, and they just beat their rival LA Clippers, 106 to 102. I'm saying right now, I think JJ Redick is the coach of the year. I want to give props to JJ Redick right here, right now, taking over a team with LeBron, a Lakers franchise that is just, it's different than any other NBA team because of what the chips and what the legends have brought to the Lakers. And they are doing really good now with a lot of change coming with that Luka trade. They're still killing it.
Yeah, I would also endorse that too. I know that the Thunder are first place in the West and also the Cavaliers first place in the East. But I think any of those 3 teams bunched up could win Coach of the Year. And also the reason why is we have the Celtics with Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, White, Holiday, Horford.
Yep.
and just so much talent in that.
Don't forget Payne Pritchard. Don't forget Sam Hauser. Don't forget Cornette. Okay.
Yeah. And the Thunder, they also have a good core. Lakers have a good core. Cavaliers have a good core. But the difference is, I feel like they don't have the same natural talent as the Celtics, where you can just kind of like clap your hands and say, "Okay, go on the court, play some ball."
Right.
So I think it does involve some game plan from the Lakers to will this team to second place. So I would also give props to, Coach Redick for that too.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone would have had this Lakers team with Redick being a first year coach where they're at now. And then again, you tack on Luka, who is just gonna bring a different dynamic because he's ball dominant, because he's such a prolific scorer. You add him, and maybe they're doing better than when they started. Which intuitively that seems to make sense because he's an all-star. Luka, he's top 3-5 NBA player in the league. It's like, of course they're going to be better, but like the team dynamics, like the chemistry, like all that is going to shift and change. So you thought it was going to progress a little bit to like be gradually getting better, but they seem to be on par with where they want to be. So props to them. It's our rival, right? You don't want to be giving too much props, but I mean, JJ Redick is mainly the props I want to give to. So.
Yeah. I would also be glad to see a Celtics Lakers finals. It's been about 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And sorry, I mean to cut you off, but like a LeBron Luka versus Tatum Brown, I mean, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, face of the league. And then Luka, who was just in the finals and lost to Tatum.
Right, I know he would. He would have like 40 average. I guarantee 40 average.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That'd be sick.
Just straight cinema.
Absolutely cinema. LeBron's final years. Oh yeah, it'd be cinema for sure. Let's hope that happens. Really, I was a long time like Celtics Nuggets, not anymore. I kind of would like Celtics Thunder, but I need the Thunder to be more mature. And I don't mean that like in a bad way. I just mean like they need to another year or two be in the playoffs and like get more years behind them. Then I could say that. But Lakers, I'm all behind that.
Yeah.
Finally, in this basketball segment, March Madness is around the corner. It is March, but the madness has not technically begun. It is beginning for the men's the weekend or on the 20th and the 21st, and for women's it's going to be on the 21st and 22nd. I have been watching a little bit more of women's and men's basketball recently, just to kind of see the talent and see where I want to make my bracket, so I can make a perfect bracket. It's never gonna happen. But I just appreciate, again, the last episode we talked about the NBA game right now. I appreciate the game college basketball produces. It's all about ball movement, it's all about getting the right shot. Men's basketball, of course, a little more athleticism than the women's. But it's all about ball movement, and it's about like, I don't know, just what like Draymond said, like it's a little bit of chess game in the college game now versus the NBA right now. So I appreciate it. But on to March Madness. Do you have any favorites coming into this March Madness in the men's or women's?
I haven't really been following men's too much.
Okay.
I would say logically you would think Duke has a really great chance.
Sure, Koopa Flag.
Yeah.
Hashtag Koopa Flag.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a guy who's teased that he might come back next year. Historically, the best player in the draft usually doesn't do well in March Madness.
Yeah.
So I don't envision him getting a national championship, but I'll root for him to get one. I mean, I have no problem with Flag, and I really don't know any other men's basketball players at the moment. So
right.
That's right now. Duke's my top option.
Duke, yeah, no, that's a good choice. I mean, the number 2 seed in the whole country, so that's not bad. I'm gonna go with Auburn. They're number 1 right now, so it's a little biased, but they just beat Alabama, who was number 2 at the time. Now they've been dipping. Alabama just lost to Tennessee, who was like 5th ranked. I think Alabama at the time was 6th ranked, so they're dipping. But because Auburn beat Alabama, and I don't like Alabama at all in any sports, I'm going Auburn. I'm rooting for Auburn for me. And the coach there for Auburn, I forget his name, but he's one of the best coaches probably in all of college basketball history. He's been one of the best. Bruce Pearl. He has been one of the best coaches of all time, and I would like to see him win because I don't think he's won an NCAA championship yet. And it'd be really dope to see him win. But I mean, last time I rooted for a number 1 seed in men's bracket was when I rooted for Virginia, and they lost to a 16th seed in the first round. So that was not good at all. Yeah, it was in college. I was pretty disappointed. So, what about women's? Anyone in the women's?
Yeah, I feel like you'll hear a lot more of them next month. Well, I guess technically this month, but
Yeah.
Notre Dame women's basketball. I feel like they have one of the strongest teams right now in women's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 players who are projected top 10 in the draft, and then another player's projected like top 3, I think, the following year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have like an all-star level core, and I feel like that team has great chemistry and will make a big impact in this tournament.
Yeah, Notre Dame's gonna be good. I'm going Juju on that beat. Okay, I'm going Juju on that beat. All right. I'm going University of South Carolina just because mainly Juju, but they did just upset UCLA, who was a number 2 seed. So they're number 4 seed. Maybe they're probably climbing. So I'm rooting for her, and the whole league, or in the whole team. So yeah, I'm going Juju.
Yeah, it's a possible finals matchup.
That
depending on
100%,
seeds,
100%, right. Yeah, it could be semifinals, but we're really hoping for a finals. That would be star-studded, absolutely. So that is our basketball segment for today. Moving forward into our What in the World segment. Eric, I'm gonna have you go first, but before you go first, I'm gonna put it on my camera. Okay, I'm gonna have you talk the whole time, and since we know now about my camera and how it moves, I'm gonna make funny expressions and see how it looks on my end. So, because this story, this is WWE. It's crazy. This might be the craziest thing that we've had on One in the World. Probably not, but it's pretty big. So take it away.
All right, last Saturday, we had the WWE Elimination Chamber. Now, this chamber, what they had was a 6-man Elimination Chamber match. Now, that match involved 6 superstars, including John Cena. Now, the winner of this match got to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship.
Okay.
Now, John Cena, he had this Superman-esque effort, and he defeated the likes of Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and others to win the chamber match.
Wow.
So this amazing effort, valiant. Cena comes out, he wins, he's celebrating. Out comes Cody Rhodes. The 2 men stare each other down.
Okay.
They look at the WrestleMania sign. And they have a respectful handshake.
Good.
But wait.
Good.
The Rock comes out next. And here he is with his own custom belt and Travis Scott.
Oh, Travis Scott. Okay.
Yep. They're walking to the ring. The Rock gets in the ring. And now he had an offer for Cody Rhodes, the current WWE champion. And he said he wants Cody Rhodes' soul.
Whoa.
Now what that entails is essentially Cody Rhodes would be a corporate champion.
Okay.
Meaning that he would essentially do whatever's best for business for the WWE. The Rock's obviously a big Hollywood star. Travis Scott is his, famous connection. That's, I guess, why he was there. But no, Cody Rhodes was offered this position to join the Rock's stable or team. And now the Rock is considered a bad guy. He technically is considered neutral, but I consider him to be a bad guy.
Sure, yeah.
And when he offered this to Cody Rhodes said, go F yourself.
Just like Tatum.
Yep.
Tatum.
So John Cena was like, oh, you told him, and kind of dabbed him up.
Yeah.
The thing is, during this dab up with John Cena's face went from a smile to completely blank. Next thing you know, The Rock gives him the death look, like he kind of makes a signal on his throat.
Like this, right? Like this.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Then Cena kicks Cody Rhodes right in the balls.
Whoa! That should have been bleep right there.
We can take care of that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cody Rhodes, he's on the ground, he's down and out. And what's significant about this is John Cena just took out, WWE's best guy right now, the big superhero who's, this really cheered and applauded guy.
Yeah.
And John Cena's always been a guy who's the face of the company, really doing a lot of charity work and really being this, good wrestler.
Yep.
And for the first time in 20 years, we've seen him being this bad guy. Now him, The Rock, and Travis Scott, for some reason, I don't know why he was there, but they were all beating down Cody Rhodes, doing this, just a beatdown.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they ended the night just like that. The match is going to be Cena and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, and it's got a lot of hype going, I think.
Oh, it does. I mean, Eric, I was a former WWE, fan, big time. The Hardy Brothers, the Nexus. Okay, like those are that was my era, and now not so much. I don't get into it, but I see this story, and then you said you texted me that John Cena turns heel, Elimination Chamber. I'm like, what does that mean? And then I looked of the video, and I was in shock. I was like, that is wild. That is that is absolutely wild. So I am looking forward to WrestleMania. I plan to watch it. I don't expect it to be like last year's. Last year's was incredible, but it's got my attention, and so I'm gonna be very intrigued.
Well, actually, there's a rumor. And we know last year, right, we had Reigns and Rhodes, and there was all these special guest appearances from The Rock, Undertaker, John Cena, and like all these other big stars.
Right.
And I've heard like we have The Rock, and his rival is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And there's rumors that Stone Cold Steve Austin might be there.
Oh,
And we have
man.
yeah, John Cena, of course. Right now, his rival is Cody Rhodes.
Right.
And then we got Travis Scott, who.
Yeah, we don't know. What's the rival Travis Scott?
I mean, I guess I can be free that night.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. There you go.
Another musical artist.
Right.
I heard rumors that Bad Bunny might be there too.
Oh,
So
was Bad Bunny in the Royal Rumble? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I usually do give criticism to celebrity wrestlers, but Bad Bunny, in my opinion, is one of the most well-trained and well-adjusted performers for WWE.
Okay.
Like, he's actually put in legit work to be a good performer.
Okay. Well, take his word, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
But
take his word.
I don't know if you heard about it, but Travis Scott legitimately punched Cody Rhodes.
He
And like he had like a black eye and like a ruptured eardrum.
Wow. I wonder. Maybe he really hates him. Like just maybe he just hates. Not just it's not a seat, not a script anymore. This is at real life. Like Travis Scott hates. Interesting. I wonder what the background is for like him just being there in general. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think he might do the WrestleMania theme song, or maybe John Cena's new bad guy theme song.
Oh, sure.
But nonetheless, I don't know. I don't really like.
Yeah, it's a little odd, right?
Yeah.
It's a little odd. But yeah, John Cena's heel. I mean, crazy, absolutely crazy. It turned.
And then who do you think's gonna win the match?
So, okay, because I have to think because I'm an adult, so I don't really I don't have that imagination now. Where, who's gonna really win? And it's a real wrestle. If John Cena wins, right? But this is his last go around. So is it gonna be not his last go around if he wins it?
So John Cena is technically contracted until the end of December 2025.
Okay.
But this is gonna be his last WrestleMania.
Okay. So he could just hold it.
And the thing too is, Cody Rhodes, of course, is WWE's top face.
Right.
And usually we like to see the crowd go home happy. The good guy winning, good ending.
Yeah.
But John Cena, he's of course the bad guy now for the first time 20 years. And if he wins this match, he wins his 17th World Championship, which is a new WWE record.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that adds it. That adds the interesting because I couldn't see Cody Rhodes losing this quick after being Roman Reigns, that whole thing. You'd think he would have it last for a little bit, a couple of years. But if they want to add that record, like if that's in the script and they want to have him get to 17, I mean and then get Cody Rhodes have it back at the end of the year or something, right? Like, and then John Cena be done. I don't know. Or John Cena turns again. Like, I don't know that whole soul thing. Like, is that just like a new Rock thing that
I don't know. I was like,
he's doing?
pause? Like,
yeah,
about soul.
Exactly. Like that's a little scary, man. What the heck? Dark sorcery stuff.
Yeah. And the other thing too is John Cena being this bad guy now. I know, of course, he does a lot of good charity work.
Yeah.
The question is, like, does he continue doing that?
I know. Was he helping with the kids, man? You see all those, like, helping with the kids, give them wristbands. Like, he ain't gonna do that anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. If he's seeing, like, just like a little kid, he'd be like, John, what are you doing out there? Like,
Yeah.
a good guy.
Yeah. And he's gonna have his soul. Rock has my soul. I can't do anything about it. I don't know. It's gonna be odd.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It'll be very interesting. Again, I'm intrigued. WrestleMania will be very interesting now that that's happening. My one in the world. It's not really super out there. But Oscars just happened. I think yesterday, right? Oscars just happened. And you were trying to get nominated. Did you get nominated?
Oh, that's the Grammys.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The Grammys.
He
I apologize.
got Emmy, Grammys, Oscars, Tonys.
That's right. I don't know because
Yeah.
I ain't up there like Eric. I ain't up there, so I don't know. Okay, so Oscars. So I actually know someone who went to my church, and he actually flew in there because he had a little short film, like a 20-minute, actually got nominated.
Ooh.
I feel I'm gonna butcher it. Anuya, something like that. I could be wrong. Like a 20-minute short, really good, really good. But anyway, tying it back into sports, there are a lot of players, NFL, NBA, MLB, all that stuff, who have been in the in the movie scene. To name a few, Terry Bradshaw, Lawrence Taylor, Mike Ditka, The Rock, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Shaq, MJ. I could go on and on. But a lot of faces into movies who have played sports professionally. Anyone that you'd want to see not in this list, or that you haven't seen in the movie that you'd maybe want to maybe be an Oscar nominated actor, actress?
Yeah, good question. I know, of course, LeBron James. I saw him in Trainwreck, that
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
and to see him play in a movie, I was like, oh wow, he's getting into acting. I feel like Ronaldo and Messi being the biggest stars in the world, I really don't know any movies with them in it.
Yeah. I feel like they're definitely probably in a few, but I can't think of any mainstream ones. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know why. I feel like I saw one with Ronaldo and it was like just comedic, like he wasn't really in it. It was just but more movies with them, more movies with them. They're super big. I mean, they're not just like in their country popular. They're global stars, right? So they would definitely catch attention. And then out of the people I mentioned, or just in general, who do you believe is like the best actor who's a professional athlete?
I mean, technically, professional wrestling is kind of like its own fence. But I really got to give credit to The Rock for like his longevity,
Yeah,
because he's doing this for like 25 plus years. He's done a lot of big movies, so I'll give him credit for his longevity as an actor.
Yeah. I mean, and then I guess I'll piggyback. I mean, now that his soul has been taken by the Rock, I mean, I'll go Cena. I think Cena has been a pretty good actor. I think he's pretty funny. And he's a superhero. And I can't remember like he's a DC hero.
Oh, Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, yeah. I saw him in what was it? Suicide Squad, right? I think in James Gunn's version, or whoever version it was. And he was very funny, so I think it'd be cool to see him in that show. But yeah, they kind of like, because WWE is acting, right? Big pieces of acting, so they kind of have an edge. But no, John Cena is pretty funny in my eyes. So
Yeah, I guess a random question for you. So talking about professional athletes, not necessarily one himself, but the James Bond series.
Okay.
They're currently looking for their next James Bond.
Oh yeah.
So I guess like who would you put in that role?
Oh, if it were an athlete, or
An athlete or just like anyone.
anyone in general.
Yeah.
Ooh, James Bond. You got anyone in mind? Because I gotta think about this.
LeBron James. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about that too. But right at the top of my head, I told my girlfriend Henry Cavill.
Okay.
He was the previous Superman.
Oh yeah.
He might honestly be a little too buff for James Bond, but he just reminds me of like the same kind of vibe of being like suave. So he'd be a top choice.
He could be a bigger James Bond. I mean, new era. New era. He could be bigger.
Yeah.
He's just got to be. He has to be as intelligent, and as slick as the Bonds. I can't think of one right now. Unfortunately, I really can't. Yeah. I don't know. Tom Cruise.
I mean, wait, you were in a Hocus Pocus? So I mean,
I
I
was in Hocus Pocus too. Hey, I'm out here. I mean, I just did start a full-time job, so I'm out here, but not really. You got to work on my schedule. But hey, you want me to be James Bond? I'll try. I can give it a shot. Anyway, our final segment here is gonna be a mailbag. We got questions for each other, but if you got a question for us, please comment in our YouTube channel or comment on our Facebook page. We would love for you to get engaged and involved in our show a little bit. So, Eric, you want to start with your question to me?
Sounds good. We know that the NBA season, there's been a lot of injuries. We talked about Joel Embiid, talked about Victor Wembanyama, and we know for the NBA, their eligibility rule for the awards, this is a pretty recent rule. It's a minimum of 65 games played and playing at least 20 minutes in those 65 games. So, of course, we know that Wembanyama, he had an amazing season defensively.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, due to this injury, he's going to be ineligible for Defensive Player of the Year. And Joel Embiid, if he was in contention, would be out of MVP.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this new rule?
Yeah, I honestly, I like it. I think there's those unfortunate circumstances like Wemby or, Embiid. It's, you're going to have an injury that's going to have you out for the rest of the game. That'll take you out of this award. But I think with what we've seen in the NBA recent years, like, I think being on the court in general is important, because you're an NBA player and that's what you do. You play basketball your whole life, and you should, if you're healthy, you should be playing. Period. Shouldn't be any question. So I think it is important to have a time. Now, I think in some cases, maybe, if it's 55 games or 60 games and this person was like trending to be, like Wemby, for like he was trending to have these, great numbers and all that stuff, then I take a look. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be super like on the 65 games. Like if it's 64, like really? If it's 64 and this guy like has been like, transcending league, but he's had like legitimate injuries and it's, it's been a tough season for them. Like I think, give it 10 games under. So like what, 55? If like they're doing really good, MVP like, I would consider it. But I think overall, I think it's fine. I think that's how it should be. Because being on the court is maybe the most important thing for your team.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like you mentioned, if it is close within range, like a couple games, or if they're really breaking out and having a really good 55 games, then I think you got to make that case by case basis.
Right.
So
Right.
I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. Question for you, Eric. It's just out of curiosity. Which NBA player would you be most excited about interviewing? Since we kind of interview each other all the time, so you think why not interview a NBA player? And you have, right? You mean you did Big Poppy and who else?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday, right.
Yeah.
So who else though? Who would be like your top pick?
Yeah. So I'll give you 2 top picks.
Yeah.
I've got my GOAT, LeBron James.
Sure. Yeah.
And a guy who doesn't really do many interviews. I think I would get along well with him. Larry Bird.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I know he's in his 60s right now, 70s.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he has a lot of great thoughts, and I know he doesn't really like to do interviews, but I think we would make some magic happen on the mic.
Sure. Oh yeah. I see what you did there. I am not picking a player. I'm not picking. I know, crazy. I'm picking my guy Joe Mazzulla. Now I know. It's crazy, right? But here's the thing, right? I think we get along quite nice, even though I talk trash about him here and there.
He would definitely watch your footage.
Like he'd watch my footage, he'd analyze it, and then he'd go all off on me, right? He'd look up, my basketball from like high school, and he would just trash me. But we're also both Christians, and I think that connection would be pretty huge. So I think we get along. I'd be able to talk, with him, vice versa. Also, if it were a player though, like Tatum or any Celtic right now, like Horford, I don't care. Like I would love to interview a current Celtic right now.
Yeah.
So
you ready for your surprise question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, bring it on.
Yeah. How's your New Year's resolution going? Stretching?
How's stretching? It was going well at first. Now, it's been taken back it, but I actually just got a new gym membership. Okay. Hashtag shout out to Planet Fitness, not sponsoring, but hashtag Planet Fitness. I'm a member there, so I've been going there. So if I go work out there, I will stretch. So but like, it's just got a lot going on, man. I'm busy.
Yeah.
Busy guy, and again, I don't like stretching, so it's like hard to.
Gotcha.
Hard to get in schedule.
Just trying to be accountable.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. You're the only one. You've asked me like twice or 3 times. All right, so I appreciate it. Thank you, man. And on that note, stretch everyone. No. That is gonna be it for our podcast for this episode. My name's Isaiah.
My name's Eric.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. See you guys next time, episode 13. Have a good one.